Hello everyone, you all are welcome here once again. Alright. So quickly I would like to address the current saga between Chelsea and Nicholas Jackson. Alright, and I will try as much as possible to be very unbiased and not really sentimental about it. Okay. So if we look at the Chelsea as a team, the Chelsea club as a whole, we will understand how they've been treating their players. We understand how they treated the likes of Chaloba, Raheem Sterling. They literally took this guy's shirt number, told them not to train with other players, and gave it to the new set of players. Alright. Now, this is something that is not uncommon. Alright. And we realized that at some point, Chaloba had to go to Crystal Palace on loan, and when the club became stranded, right? They had to recall him back, of which he came back and he has been migrated back to the squad. Okay. Now, if we look at it very well, we realize that this thing is somehow similar to what's currently happening to Nicholas Jackson. Alright. Now, Jackson was told to leave on loan, and eventually, when Liam Delap got injured, they called him back to come back. Alright. Now, if we look at it currently, we realize that so many Chelsea fans don't want him around. Okay, they wanted him gone. But for me, I think I don't see him as a striker actually. I think I prefer him as a 10 and as a left winger. Okay, and I feel like he's going to perform very well in either of those two positions. Do you understand? So now Jackson is a player that he might not score in a match, but you would definitely feel his impact. When Jackson was injured, everyone kept shouting that we wanted him back from injury. That's for us to know that Jackson is a fit squad player. Like he performs very well in every match. Right. So back to the whole saga between them, we realized that during the Club World Cup final, Jackson was not really present. Even during the celebrations, he wasn't that efficient, he wasn't that effective, he wasn't that available compared to the UEFA Conference League that was won, where he played and he scored. You understand? So now I feel like this issue had happened. It started right from the whole Club World Cup. No, right from the Newcastle match where he got the red card. You get, and for the other red card he got, and so it's kind of affected him. All right, but I think most importantly, he was the one that asked that he wanted to leave. Right, he was the one that went to meet them because at some point they said they weren't so particular about him leaving, and if he's going to leave, he's going to leave at a reasonable amount of money. Like we're literally calling it something around 80 million euros thereabout. You get, for you to know that they place a lot of values on him. You get. Then at some point we heard that he asked that he wanted to leave, and it was really understandable because we had Liam Delap, we have João Pedro, so he didn't want to sit on the bench, which is understandable. Okay. Now, eventually, the whole loan thing was done with Bayern Munich, right? And he was on his way to Bayern, despite the whole conditions that was attached to it. It was finally finalized, and he was on his way to Munich. Now, eventually, Liam Delap got injured, and Chelsea called him back to come back. Now, when I heard, I was really pissed because even as a player, it is something very annoying. The fact that you did it with Chaloba and it worked does not mean it will always work. Right? So I wasn't even cool with the fact that they wanted Jackson back, despite the fact that they released him on loan. Okay. Now, in all of this, I felt Jackson was justified. Like the whole situation, Jackson was, I think him not wanting to come back was justifiable. You get. Now, this is actually the part where I'm going to fault Nicholas Jackson. It is the fact that he decided that he didn't want to come back, which was fine. But all those statements, all those comments, I felt it was so unreasonable. See, as much as we want to be on Nicholas Jackson's side, we should understand the fact that the club is bigger than the player. There is this Yoruba adage that says that tí ọwọ́ ọmọdé ò bá ti tẹ̀kù idà kò kí ń gbé eku tó pa bàbá ẹ̀, and it's the real truth. As long as Jackson is still on loan to Bayern Munich, he's still Chelsea player. I heard what he said that he mentioned that he scored 30 goals in two seasons that, and there are no striker has done that in a while. I think he said that no striker has done that since Diego Costa. As much as all of those things are true, as much as all of those things are viable, we all cannot deny the fact that Jackson missed a lot of chances. Jackson missed a lot of opportunities. And I feel like until he has been permanently sold, he is not expected to come out and give any comment. See, it is wisdom for him to just keep quiet. Chelsea is bigger than Nicolas Jackson, and he could have just maintained his cool, maintained his peace until things have been finally finalized. Now, look at it. The obligations attached to Bayern buying him. He must start 40 games, of which the probability of him starting 40 games is almost zero, except if Harry Kane goes on injury, which is unlikely. Right? So I just feel like to an extent he was wrong for that type of decision. I mean, he was wrong for all those comments, for all those interviews, for all those things he's saying. Really, it could have been great if he just kept quiet and just continue all of those things and see how the whole thing unfold. We should not also forget what happened to Joao Felix. So I feel like we'll see what unfolds, but there is no player that is bigger than the club. Chelsea will always be Chelsea, right? And as far as Chelsea is concerned, he's still our player and he's coming back next season, of which they are not going to integrate him back into the squad, but he will definitely be back, and possibly they start looking out for options. Yeah, we start looking for options for him. Alright. Yeah, so this is my view about all of my view about the whole saga. I would really appreciate if you subscribe. Thank you.